Okay, let's go ahead and get started there, everybody. Welcome back to another Strange Bro Jim stream. I'm your host, Strange Bro Jim, and today we got ourselves the continuation of our Conceptis Puzzles, which will probably just be the completion of the Link-a-Pix. And I'm probably not going to be able to get to the Block-a-Pix, seeing that this one is a medium plus, and it'll probably take me just as long, if not longer, to try to finish. So I don't really have a lot of time left to do that. So I would have to put more time into the video in order to finish it off. So probably not going to happen. So so we got our Conceptis that we're going to be tackling. We have some videos to upload, and then we have 2 Point Hospital later on tonight. So look forward to that. Yesterday we did a fair amount of the Link-a-Pix, but as you can see, we're still not done with it, and there's still areas that require our attention, and well, might be a little difficult to finish. So let's go ahead and get started on it, shall we? So let me get this viewable for everybody. There we go. And let's see. Now, from what I can see on this, let's see. Obviously, we got, our one large area here. And we basically have like two areas here for the most part. Two separate areas from, it's kind of been separated, but still. We still got this small one here that I need to kind of figure out. And then, of course, we got this this up here to manage. So, the, the problem that I've had with these kind of puzzles in certain cases is the fact that in some cases you could literally just go ahead and like go in different directions and it would still potentially work. So like for example, this 20 here, I could like have it kind of go back and forth here for a while, and then maybe come right up and link right on in. But I don't know if that is the proper if that's proper or not. Like it could just go, something like this, and like maybe circle around and all that kind of jazz. But obviously, there's a lot that can happen for that. Or it can just try to like go straight there, but still kind of like work my way around. Obviously not in this particular case because we're blocking off the 7 there, but still. But you get my point. It's like, there's multiple paths that I could potentially take for some of these larger numbers. Now, some of them, is just like a 50-50 choice. It's either one way or the other. That's fine. But I mean, I can't necessarily. Well, I mean, this one here is a given. Because otherwise, if it was this way, I'd basically be blocking in this 20. So this isn't possible. But still, it's one of those things where it's like, where where's everything going? You know, um, this is just a straight shot. Seems like it. Doesn't seem like there's any other ways of making it work. You know, this 9, for example, you know, like, do I go around like this? Is it something where I have to kind of go up and around like so? Is it something where I'm kind of like, you know, maneuvering around a little bit here, or, you know, like something like that? You know, there's like multiple, you know, multiple means of trying to like get something to work, and you know, I don't know. That's the thing. So, you know, like for example, this 6, right? You know, these two sixes here. We could either have it this way, or we could have it this way, or we could do this. It's like, you know, there's multiple methods of getting that to work. I'm not sure which one, you know, which ways to go with that. You know, same with these 5s. Like I could go that way, I could go this way, I could go that way, or I could go this way, you know. So, but I mean, I have to figure this out, otherwise I'm never going to get anywhere. Like this area over here isn't going to affect this area over here, so I have to figure this part out. You know, there's something here that will allow for me to help me, but you know, I don't know exactly, you know, what or how. So, because there's too many possibilities right at this moment in time. Or at least it feels like there's too many possibilities. Okay, is this just a straight shot? It seems like it. I don't think there's like any other means on allowing for it to kind of maneuver on through. So I think it's just connection that way. I don't think there's any other things that I can work here to make it work. So okay. So I can't have this 14 go up like that, because if I had the 14 go up like that, then this 18 here would have to kind of go down to get to this 18 over here, right? If I did that, then this 14 would be kind of screwed. So this 14 is going to have to come over here to the left. Um, and most likely come like all the way over here like so. Um, which would mean that this 18 would have to kind of go this way. Now, I don't know whether or not there is a slight, you know, like if I have to kind of go down and around like so to kind of give myself a little bit there, or if it is is, extending down a little bit further, or if it's kind of going out here a little bit and wrapping around. I don't know. Like I'm not 100% sure. But either way, because I'm having to kind of maneuver down here at the very least, I know that these threes are gonna go like so. So there's that at least. So um, okay, pardon me, I need to blow my nose. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so again, I'm not 100% sure with this 18, like, this 14 here could come that way or it could go down that way. I'm not sure about that. I already talked about the 16 on, how I don't know where, you know, the connection is there. Um, okay. 14 is going to come down there, which means this 4 has to kind of wrap around that way. Okay, the 16 has to come on down that way, which means, okay, we got that kind of a connection, which means I have to kind of wrap this here, and this connects there. Okay, now obviously I can't, extend this out here because even, like, this isn't going to be able to get, the full 18 that I need. So this 8 is going to have to come out this way and down. So, you know, I could try to say like, oh hey, this 8 is going to come out this way and wrap around and connect that way. I could try to say that, but um, but again, that wouldn't really leave room for the 18 here to come around and connect over there, right? If this was out here, like this 18 can't go down, it can't go to the right or left, it can't, and going up does nothing for it, so this 8 can't go to the right, it has to go down, which means it's gonna have to go to the left here, and we have to do a connection that way. 14 comes out here. This 14 connects there. I'll just have it wrap around and see what happens. Alright, there we go. I'm hoping that everything looks good. Okay. Okay, so obviously, the 6 coming to the right, wouldn't really work because it would have to go down and then connect. That doesn't work. Again, can't go down because, once again, this traps to 18, so it has to go to the left there. It's going to have to go left again because even if it went down right now, it would trap that 18, so it has to kind of continue going to the left. So we're just going to continue here until we wrap it around like so. Okay. Now, obviously, doing 18 like this wouldn't work, right? So I'm suspecting that I'm going to have to kind of wrap it around like this and then up and around like so, and then we have our 5s connected there. Which, yeah, okay. Okay. I can't have the 12 go up and, try to connect with the 12 like so, right? Because that cuts off the 6s here. So I'm kind of leaning towards going to the left here. Which makes these 5s kind of connect there. I'm assuming the 7 will have to kind of connect with this one. And the 7 will have to kind of go down here and connect with that one, which means these 9s will have to connect there. Um, so, I don't know if it's a straight contact or not. Um, too many possibilities right at this moment in time, and I'm not quite sure what I can do with these. Uh, I'm not quite sure what I can do here. Once again, I'm met with a lot of open space. You know, and I don't even know if this is like the correct method there, or if I need to do something, um, something like this, or if it's something like this. I'm not sure. That's what's kind of pissed me off about it, because that determines how I kind of handle these 16s a little bit. And with these 16s, I can kind of determine how I can handle these 10s. See, straight shot with the 16, we still got a long ways to go there. But I can do that. But it might be like, more like this. I don't know. Okay. Let's think about it here a little bit. I can't go up with the 10 at all. Like if I try to do something like this, right, and then go right back down, that would mean that this 16 would have to kind of go down and try to go through this tiny little gap right there, which will cut out the 11s. So we can't have the 10 going up. Okay. So either way, this one has to go to the left a little bit. Now, actually, now that I look at it even more, it's going to have to make a straight line here. Okay, because either way, this 11 is going to have to go this way, and this 16 is going to have to go this way, right? So either way, this 10 has to have a straight line. So it's going to wrap around like that no matter what. So there's that. Which means this 16 is going to come out like so. Now, 11 is going to move around like that, and the 16 will have to connect that way, and that would be good. That's good. Okay. Oh man. Okay, one more another. I'm gonna have to get the 7 down through here. Where else it goes after that, I'm not quite sure. Does it turn or does it continue going straight down? I don't really know. But either way, that kind of forces the hand of these 8s to kind of connect there, which means we're gonna need to do the 20 Going down like that. These two can't connect just yet, so we have to kind of move them down, and now they can connect. So we move that down even further. If I do 10 up here like this, it doesn't have enough room. So I'm going to have to kind of have the 10 go out a little bit and then up and around like so, which means this comes in this way, which makes this 7 go around like that. These 4s connect there. This 20 goes all the way out there. But we don't really have a lot, obviously, this can happen, direct connect doesn't work, so we're going to have to try to make do with all the room that we have available left, and there we go. And I think that should be correct. Yeah. Okay. I'm assuming that's what I'm going to need to do. I feel like I'm going to have to kind of fill in everything here because um, that doesn't really look perfect though. Unless we do up and around like so, connected that way. Okay. Maneuver this all the way around. Connect there, and then connect there. I think that's good enough. Okay. Let's see. Been at this for 30 minutes already. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough time to do the other puzzle. So I'm probably going to be ending the Conceptis video after this one because I won't have enough time to do the other one. I might kind of show it just so like if anybody wants to like take a screenshot of it and try to work on it on your own time, you're welcome to, or or like take the ID and you can purchase it from the Conceptus site and you know, do it there if you want. But okay. I suspect that this area here is going to need to make use of all the room that we have available for the most part. So I'm going to have to kind of make do with everything that I have here. Yeah. And we connect there, and then we connect there. And that should work. Okay, mess up here. Now, obviously, we can't have this 12 going down here because that blocks this 16th going through. So we have the 12 going that way. Once again, we can't have the 18 going down at all because, again, that blocks the 16th. So 18 is going out that way. Matter of fact, we can probably just push it all the way over there for the most part. Which makes going down here impossible for the other 14, so it has to, definitely has to go up and connect that way. This 12 doesn't really have a lot of room up there, so I'm gonna maneuver like so. Then there's your 16. Okay. I suspect that this is kind of more of a straight shot than anything else. Because I would imagine if I did something like this, trying to go up and around wouldn't really work. So I'm assuming the 6s are kind of connected that way, and then we can just kind of connect that there. Yep, there we are. Okay. Okay, can't cut across here. That cuts off these two 6s from joining each other. So this one's gonna have to kind of go down and connect that way. Connect that way. Okay. Could go up and over like so, or could go down and connect that way. Okay, so the question I have right at this moment in time, because this 16 can't go up this way to get down to this other 16 down there, so it's gonna have to go down. Now, could it go this way? Well, yeah, it could. Or could it go down this way? Yeah, it could. Okay. Either way, this 18, this 18 can't go all the way around here to try to get to this 18 over there. Not going to the left, not going down, not going to the right, so it has to kind of go up, which I'll have to go this route. Okay. bit more. Okay, here's what I'll say about this part, the 16 here, right? If I go down and, like this doesn't affect the 6s, and this doesn't necessarily affect the 11s, right? I can just kind of have that kind of going on here. But however, this can affect the 20, as you can see. It's completely cut off right now. So that's why I don't think it goes through this way, because it screws over the 20. So it kind of has to go this way. What the hell am I listening to? Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to something else. Sorry, I'm trying to, I have some music, on to kind of keep my headset, you know, active, but not so loud that it distracts me um, from the Link-a-Pix, or from, like, answering any kind of comments or anything along those lines. But sometimes the music, it's like, wait, what am I hearing in the background? It was like dot 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 dot. It's like, what the heck? What we got going here? So, random copyrighted, you know, radio music. Okay, and no, I cannot play the music for everybody, because, don't necessarily want to get copyright claimed. Don't want that. I have enough problems with game music. I don't need, you know, regular music coming in and causing me some problems. Okay, well, I mean, I could have the 4s out here like that, and we can have the, 20 kind of going around like so. But it still wouldn't necessarily help us out with the 11s there, so. Do something like this. And we can have this kind of go around like so, and okay. Ay, ay, ay. That was rough. Once again, probably could have used, that gray, equaling white, you know, that might have helped a little bit in this particular case. And smaller number sets might have been fantastic, but you know, it, it's okay. You know, um, you know, but if we did that, then it'd be an easier puzzle. So, um, okay. So that's it um, for our Link-a-Pix. Um, as I mentioned before, with like what I'm currently 45 minutes in. I got like 15 minutes for that I normally allocate for Conceptis for the day, and then an hour tomorrow, and we got a medium plus here. Yeah, and I can show it off on stream, but the likelihood of actually getting this to be, getting it done by tomorrow. Uh, I might as well try. If I don't get it done, then, well, I mean, I can probably try to see about like putting some extra time in it, but I mean, if it starts getting to be like if I don't have like if I can't do a lot of this by the 15 minutes today, then well, the likelihood of completing it tomorrow will probably be slim to nil. So I'm probably gonna have to I might have to look at it and go, this is too much. I'm not gonna be able to finish all of this by, you know, within an hour. And if it even looks like it, might even take 2 hours to complete, then, you know, um, then okay. Okay. much there. 54 can't go there. And obviously it doesn't have enough for that, but might do... Ooh. Not sure about that yet. Okay. There we go. Can't do that. Can't do that. So that's the only other option. Okay, if I do something like this, I can still do a single line for the 15. Can't really do anything there. Okay. 14, can't do anything horizontal, single. Same with the vertical, so it has to do a 2x7. Problem is that it could be there, there, there. Okay. There's that. Let's see, I'm just gonna kind of try to fill everything in. It might not necessarily work though. I'm just kind of, eyeballing it and stuff like that, but some of these might be off. But so far, I've been on, okay. Okay. Okay, obviously I can't do that. Okay. Assuming that's fine. No, there's something wrong with this. Okay, I'm assuming that that's correct. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's about as much as I can do right at this moment in time. That doesn't leave. This doesn't really inspire me with confidence as to whether or not I can finish this tomorrow or not. Um, yeah. Yeah, I'm just kind of worried about, some of the larger fields here. Like, where exactly is everything going to be kind of fitting in? So there's probably going to be a lot of errors coming up if I, do attempt to try to finish this tomorrow. But yeah. Well, that's where we're going to go ahead and end today's Conceptis portion of the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Sorry for, you know, being a little tired. I keep on thinking that like maybe it's just my overall positioning making my eyes tired and therefore, making me try to close my eyes. So, um, yes, for those of you who know that, like, if you're not already aware, you know, where you sit and where your monitor is can, affect your eyes. So, if you do, um, you know, long, if you're sitting behind the desk, sitting behind a computer screen, for an extended period of time, you want to make sure that you are set up ergonomically. Otherwise, you know, you're just going to be damaging your eyes, So, which I'm probably doing. So, okay. Well, that's going to be it for today's Conceptus Puzzles. No one in a chat right at this moment in time, so that's fine. Maybe there was some people just kind of lurking in the background. If they were, thank you for being there. Appreciate that. If there weren't, no big deal. No problem. You know, these videos will still be up on YouTube for anybody to enjoy. Whenever you want to enjoy them. So everything's all good on that one. So, but that's where we're going to go ahead and end it. Check out the description for multiple links down below. Discord, Patreon, Throne. I got my stream team, Team Robot, down there as well. You can look up the members of Team Robot, check out their content. Or you can, throw your hat into the team, if you want. If you're a streamer or non-streamer, you're welcome. So check it out if you're interested in that. But that's going to be it for tonight. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully I catch you next time. But until then, take care. Have a good night. Stay healthy, stay safe. I'll catch you strangers next time.